I am live, I think. Morning. It's morning where you are? What's up, guys? I'm just sitting in my garage. Decided to do a little Q&A for you guys. I got my laptop like down below, and I got my phone doing the video. Did I end up finding the cause? I mean, I know that there's a bent valve. I don't know yet what caused it. At the end of the last live stream, I didn't see anything, but after ending the video, I was putting the caps back on, and I noticed that the bent valve sits just maybe like a millimeter lower than the other one, all the rest of the other ones. So, I mean, obviously I know that that valve is bent. I just don't know why. So I got to take the head off, and then maybe it's underneath. Maybe the keeper, or not the keeper, the valve guide bent or came out or something. What you talking about? Talking about my broke ass motor. Hello. Why is my video not loading on my laptop? I'm trying to... Come on now. There we go. How do I feel having a legendary car? It's pretty awesome. Right now it's broken, but it's right behind me, as you can see. But I enjoy it. I like it. The thought of one day, you know, having one in my garage had never really been like a true thought, I guess, until I realized that, you know, hey, now they're 25 years old, I can actually import one. So yeah, I went through the process, and now I have one, and it's a good feeling. RB30 is still at the tuner. Have an old RB26, huh? Well, I might need a head. I don't know yet. We'll find out. If you guys hit that thumbs up button, hopefully that'll help get some more people in here. Will do, man. If you want, send me a message on my like Facebook or my Instagram, so that way I can keep in contact with you. So anybody have any questions in general? Like, whatever. Ask me anything you want, I don't care. I may not answer it, but I probably will. The timeline to pull my head off. Well, I was hoping I could actually start on it today, but today I wasn't feeling good. I had a sinus headache that was kind of like, I just wanted to lay in bed, and it was like 95 degrees and muggy. So hopefully tomorrow I can actually get some time to work on it. I'll be making a video of what I find. Probably not a live stream, just because it's a little bit more involved. I'm trying to get my head off by myself. I'll probably have to take the intake manifold and stuff off just to make it lighter on me. I let my brother-in-law, I know actually, the engine hoist is at the original owner's house. He let me borrow it, and my brother-in-law has another one, but it's at his house for his Skyline. Yeah, I know there's always now, but I'm haven't been able to do anything all day really, so I was gonna go out and get some food after this and watch a movie or something. Like I said, taking the head off by myself, I just gotta, I don't know, mentally prepare for it, I guess. Just because there's I don't know if you know about the bolts on the head. There's actually three small little bolts. There's one in the front and one on each side of the head, and those are a little bit of a pain in the butt to get to. I keep looking down because my laptop is like right here where the chat section is, so don't give up. Yeah, I'm not giving up, man. Believe me, I got too much money in this thing to just give up. It's basically just time and motivation, I guess. You know, the motivation to get it going is a lot different than the motivation of taking it apart. But I'm not unmotivated. I just haven't really had time to do anything since the last live stream. So been working and family stuff, so you gotta stick together. Yeah, I know. That's why I make these videos. Well, not this one in particular, but I make the videos to help people with Skylines that, of course they've been around for, almost 30 years, but people in the US, just the little things that you wouldn't really think about. YouTube wasn't really around when they came out, so people in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, they all know how to do this stuff already, but hey, I figure I learned from them, and if I can learn, then I'll make a video helping others, so yeah, I know what you mean by we gotta stick together. Owned it for 13 years. Wow. That's a long time, man. Every time you go to work on it, something else is broken. Oh, geez. Yeah, I've heard the stories. I've been prepared for, having to fix things. It is a 28-year-old car, so. But obviously when you go modifying stuff and making a lot more power, stuff breaks then too, so. I took it to someone because I honestly just didn't have the time to dedicate to building the motor. Originally, the motor was not going to get built. I just took the crank out and took it to the machine shop so that they could put the spline drive on it for the oil pump. And, I got to talking to the guy, and of course, he's a salesman. He's going to want to sell you his services. Excuse me. So it was around tax return time, so I had some extra money. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then a couple people actually donated money to help, push me, I guess. Wesley, I think was his name. He sent me like $100, and he was like, buy some pistons. Don't be a bleep. I found it pretty funny. Yeah, hopefully the head damage is minor. At least the valve is going to need to be replaced, and probably the guide. And then I'm hoping that it didn't hit the cylinder wall, but we'll find out. 18 months and still wasn't running. Had to take it to a shop. yeah, man, sometimes you just got to, you know, give it to someone else, get a new set of eyes on it. And if you don't have the time or, I guess, even the proper, you know, tools or even knowledge, it's better to just take it to someone else. Mick, what's up, buddy? You're late. No, you're not late, man. V8 Killer has had his for 8 years. 0 issues. That's good, man. Yeah, I mean, I just can't leave anything alone. So I have to modify it for some reason. I don't know. Even my daily driver, I have a little Jetta TSI. It's the 1.8 turbo, and I put an exhaust and intake and did a little ARP computer tune on it, and yeah. I needed to be able to merge into traffic, you know? But anyway, I've had a couple people like on my video, the dyno video, and then explaining what happened after the dyno, and even on Instagram and stuff, people reached out, and you know, everyone's been real supportive, and you know, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Everyone's, you know, been buying T-shirts and stickers, and even donating money, doing like the little super chat thing on YouTube. Someone sent me like $3 or something, or $4, and every little bit helps. And I got that in a separate account, so like all that money is being saved for when I do find out what's wrong with the head and whatever, so I get that fixed in a timely manner. So anyway, yeah, the money could be an issue depending on what's wrong. Like I said, hopefully it didn't hit the cylinder walls, and hopefully it's just some head machining, I guess. There was a guy, Precision something, I can't remember. He's on Instagram. He actually offered to help me out with it. He's somewhat local. He's up at the Baltimore area of Maryland, so it's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hour drive if I drove up there. But you know, he's willing to help me out. And there's a shop down in Atlanta, I think it was. He was like, "Yeah, man, I can help you out." So, you know, I guess maybe like a discount on parts if I need them. So might have to end up going full Ferrera valve train or whatever. You've maxed your stock turbos with 4-inch exhausts, 272 kilowatts. The wheels, dash 5s, 365 kilowatts. 365 kilowatts is like around 500 horsepower or something. I'm not familiar. I mean, I don't know how to do the conversion off the top of my head. You're playing Rainbow Six. That's funny. Overheating issues, huh? Man, I got this thing. Where is it? Hang on a second. So I got this thing right here, and inside it's got a bunch of different like caps and stuff, and you know, it helps bleed the system. It just seals on top of the radiator, and you just run the car with this on it, and then once the fluid stops going down and bubbles coming out or whatever, you just put the little stopper in and you pull it out, and you're good to go. So this helped a lot. Another thing that could help is a swirl pot. Swirl pot I had on my previous setup. It was basically like a self-bleeding system 24/7. Closer to 420. Oh, okay. 365 kilowatts is roughly 489 horsepower. Good with an E, guess. Yeah. Let's see. Love my old GTST, even if it did spend more time in pieces. Yeah, I've learned. I've been all over the place with my car ownership. I've learned that, you know, these older Nissans, they like to make you work for their love. A Greddy one, huh? A Greddy yellow thing? Oh no, a Greddy swirl pot. Okay, that's cool. Injectors were maxed at that. Yeah, I don't know what size the GTST's stock injectors are. The GTRs come with like 440s, I think, but they're top feed, and I think the RB25s and 20s are side feed, I think. Excuse me. I had my R32 GTST for a little over a year. Did a few mods, but haven't had any problems yet. Yeah, I mean, they're usually pretty reliable. I mean, if you just change the oil and, you know, check for broken stuff every once in a while, you know. It's when you go in and you start modifying stuff and then, you know, trying to make big power is usually the problem. Oh, yours is GTR. My bad. Sorry, I get lost with who says what sometimes. Yeah, I've got 2000 ID 2000 injectors just because I wanted I didn't want to have to upgrade again. I had 1000s, I had ID 1000s, and then that was because I was originally just going to do methanol injection because there was no E85 around me, but E85 is now around me, so I was like, okay, sold the meth injection kit, and I was like, these thousands could probably make, you know, 600 horsepower, which is really what I wanted, but I was like, I didn't want to max them out, so I went with the 2000s. Did you ever have any HICUS problems? Don't want to delete the system, but I'm guessing mine is the speedo cable. It stopped working. My HICUS light kept popping up before. Well, if it's your speedo cable, your speedometer is not going to work because usually they just snap. But I did have a HICUS problem once. I was on a closed course. I was in like the top of fourth gear, you know, just going down a straight road, and it decided that it wanted to like turn. The rear wanted to turn, and it scared the crap out of me. So I was like, all right, that's getting deleted. So yeah, I decided that day that it was time to delete the HICUS. But driving it, the light still comes on once I hit 80 kilometers and steering becomes heavy. Yeah, it could be the sensor, it could be a few different things. My recommendation would be going to Google and just do a search for all the reasons that the HICUS light can come on if you want to keep it. I mean, if you want to delete it, I have a nice video about that. But it might just need to be serviced. I'm not sure. I just wanted to delete it because, you know, it's 30-year-old stuff and I just didn't need it. I'm not doing any circuit racing or anything, so the advantage of having it was just not, you know, beneficial to me, I guess. Yeah, Mexico. I was in Mexico. I took a little road trip to Virginia, from Virginia to Mexico. The opinions on the DriftWorks kit. Problems with rusting? No, I don't have any problems with it rusting, but I also don't daily drive the car. I don't drive it in the rain if I can help it, so it doesn't really get wet. Stays in the garage. But no rusting yet, so I put some anti-seize on the threads. That's about it. I mean, I've seen the pictures of the rusting of these kits, but I haven't personally had that issue yet. Were you able to keep the power steering with your Hikis deleted? Yep. Yep. All you got to do is, I mean, there's a couple different things you can do. You can pull the pump out, and then, well, you probably don't have to pull it out, but you have to remove the back, and then you pull out the little fins so that it doesn't overheat, I guess. Or you can loop the front line, which is what I did. Or you can get an R33 GTR power steering pump and bracket and run that, since their Hikis is electronic. What are my opinions on the whole set HX35 and HX40 turbos? I don't really have any experience with them. I mean, I know that people run them with success. I don't want to tell you that they're bad or good because I don't really know. The only turbos I really have experience with are Precision, and then back when I had my turbo Talon, all-wheel drive Talon, it was just a big 16G, so a Garrett turbo. So I don't know, buddy. It's a Nissan, it's rusting somewhere. Yeah, probably. I mean, I try to get all the rust off if I see any, remove it, and then do the rust prevention stuff on there. Hikis delete won't affect power steering. It'll affect it if you don't do it all the way, if you don't do it right. Like, there's a computer in the trunk there that you have to you can either unplug the whole connector, I think, or you can just cut the one wire, and then it doesn't tell the computer that it's gone or missing. So mine doesn't have any issues. Just gonna stretch my legs out. Okay, that's where the Tomei wiring goes. Okay. You guys have any later, bro? I'll be down there the 21st to 25th. Hopefully I'll have my R33 back from then. Shoot me an email and I'll bring the head. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, just send me a message or whatever so that I know how to get a hold of you. Appreciate it. Hopefully I won't need it, but we'll see. I'm hoping that it wasn't because the head was decked too much and there just wasn't enough valve to piston clearance, but I don't know. If there wasn't enough, then I would have thought it would bend more than just one valve. Well, there's like 20 of you guys in here. Since you got in a few minutes late, have you missed? I'm sorry, I hate to ask again. Did you find out anything engine? Yeah, I mentioned that after I ended the video, I noticed that the what do you call it? The cap, having a brain fart. Just the cap, I guess it's called. Sits on top of the shim and the valve. The one that has the bent valve sits maybe like a millimeter lower than the other one. Couldn't really tell when the caps were pulled off, but when I put them both back on, I ran my thumb across it, and like it dipped down a little bit when I got to the valve that was bent. So it's definitely bent, and it's pulling the spring down a little bit because it's bent, just not a lot. So, and when I pulled that cap off, the shim was still flat, like stuck with oil. against the cap, so the shim didn't pop up. The only thing I can think of is maybe the valve guide like came undone or bent and wedged itself so that the valve couldn't close all the way. I'm not sure. No Facebook or IG. My job is government and track everything, so I better not to have one. All right, so how should I get a hold of you then? Yeah, I know, man. I'd love to go to New Zealand or Australia or even Japan just to see all the cars and stuff that we don't have here legally. No problem, Mick. There's 21 people watching. Anybody got any questions? Doesn't have to be car related. It could be about YouTube or whatever about your car. If I didn't have a chance to buy an R32, what other car would I get? Well, before I bought my Skyline, I had a 96 Mustang Cobra that had a built motor and a Pro Charger, built rear end, all that stuff. So I'd probably still have that. I sold it once I got the Skyline. But if I had to buy another car, like if I couldn't just keep that, I'd buy another one. I don't know, let me think about that. I probably would have bought like an older BMW and did like a motor swap into it. Either like a RB or a JZ or even maybe a V8 of some sort. I've always liked the look of BMWs. A Toyota. Yeah, I mean, I like the old SC300s. I mean, it's a Lexus, but it's Toyota. And then the Mark IV Supras. A few friends of mine had some Mark III Supras back in the day. Those were pretty cool. But I can't afford a new Supra, you know. A stock one going for like 60 grand or something. That's crazy. Oh, you wrote your email? My bad. I'll try to scroll up here and find it. I'm looking. Oh man, my eyes suck. I don't see it. I don't know if it like took it out, but I mean, just a quick glance. I was looking for an email address, but I didn't see it. Unless you wrote it without the @ symbol and stuff, because I was just looking for that. Off the wall question: How were the crabs? You had me craving some after. They were pretty good. I'm not a big like crab picker. Like it's just not worth it to me. So I picked a few and then I had some brats. I'm more of like a crab cake person. You know, just a big old lump of crab meat or you know, big snow crab legs or something. Javier says, I just want to say good luck. Hope the damage is minimum and see big numbers on the dyno soon. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I hope so too. Um, it's looking like it's going to be winter time, most likely. You know, old Jap cars getting really expensive now. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've modified mine. I don't know. It was a grade 4 car from the auction, so it only had 32,000 kilometers on it. Jevic verified and all that stuff. I had original papers from the dealership, and it was a one owner. So I mean, I'm sure if I would have kept it original, it'd probably be worth a lot more money. But that's not why I bought the car. I did it because I wanted one of my dream cars. You know, I played with these cars on Gran Turismo as a kid, and I was just like, man, I need that all-wheel drive inline 6 turbo. I need it. And then, like I said earlier, I just can't leave anything alone. I have to modify crap. I just can't. I don't know. It's just what I like to do. I mean, I got into paintball, and you know, I bought one of those, you know, just ready to go paintball guns, and of course, I had to pull the trigger and handle off of it and get like a modified one that does automatic, and then a ball feeder that forces stuff, and then a different barrel, and you know, all that crap. I just, you know, basically ended up with a brand new gun. So yeah, that's just what I do. When will you start pulling apart your motor to check for the damage? Well, last week during the live stream, I did a little disassembly of the top. I took the cams off and the cam gears and checked under the valve caps and stuff, and I didn't really see anything like as a 100% cause of the issue. So I'll be taking the head off, hoping to work on it tomorrow. So you know, I'll get a good night's sleep, and then I'll probably try to get my brother-in-law or somebody to come over and help me get the head off. It'll probably be a little tough, just me. I would love to have a SC300 1JZ VVTi swap with either CDO09 or a Gitrag. Yeah, that would be cool. I remember seeing the first, I saw my first SC300 with the, you know, Supra swap, basically, you know, and I was like, wow, that's so awesome. You know, you can have, you know, Supra power in a car that's not a Supra, and you know, that was back when I was, you know, still getting into cars and learning stuff, and now everything has 2Js in it and stuff. So I'm probably not going to live stream when I do take the head off. I'll probably just make a regular video out of it, because when I work on the car, usually it takes a while, just because I have to like set up the camera angles and then try and find my tools, because my garage is a fucking pigsty. Excuse me. So I'll probably just do a regular video and then, you know, edit it and upload it. Ask anything. I've got to go. Movie night. Cool, man. Well, thanks for stopping by, Mick. Enjoy the movie. Yeah, I'll probably work on it tomorrow and try and get the head off. I don't know how difficult it's going to be. I might have to take the manifolds off first. What you call it? The all right, James, I appreciate it. I can probably go find the email address up higher if it. I'm guessing maybe YouTube blocked it. I don't know, but I appreciate it, man. I'll send you a text. Crank call time. Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that, guys. He's trying to help me out. So, yeah, don't do that. That's messed up. Well, if there's no more like questions or anything, I just figured I'd hop on here and do like a little update of, you know, what I found after the last one, and then if you guys had questions, I'm kind of hungry. It's dinner time for me, so I'm probably gonna go make some dinner. No. Alright guys, well, I don't know if you're just typing or if no one has any questions. You know, something happened, my app crashed or something. When you have your fully running RB, how often do you have to do maintenance, oil checks, air filter swaps? I mean, it's just like any normal, like, unless you're going out and racing it, like at an event, you know, then you want to like check all your spark plugs and check your oil levels and, you know, all that kind of stuff, like same day type stuff if you're going to go back out and or whatever. But just normal maintenance, I'd probably change my oil a little more often than I would if it was just a daily driver car making, you know, stock horsepower numbers. Air filter swap, I mean, it's really just the same as anything. If the filter's dirty, then change it. Or if you have a K&N, you can clean them and re-oil them. Hey mate, I love the build. Hope you fix her all up and get it going again. Love from Australia. Hey, thanks Jack, I appreciate that. I hope to get it up and running soon too. Hopefully it doesn't gonna cost me an arm and a leg. Thanks, Trey. Hope you have a good Labor Day, too. Well, guess that'll be it. North Carolina. Hey, man. It's only a state away from me. How hard was it to register your car at the DMV? I actually wrote an article. Here, let me bring it up. I put it on my website, and long story short, it was basically just because my DMV that I went to hadn't done it before, so they didn't know the process. So it was kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see how I imported. There we go. Copy and paste. There you go. Family's from Richmond, huh? Cool. That's like an hour away from me. Am I a self-taught or mechanic by trade? I am definitely not a mechanic. I mean, I pretend to be one. I'm self-taught, like, you know, just growing up, my dad, he is like a handyman, you know, and he always changed the oil and, you know, spark plugs and fix things on the car and stuff like that. So it was always an interest of mine, and then I just started doing that to my cars once I was old enough to drive and all that. So it's just learning and then, you know, applying those basic skills to specific situations. You know, obviously the RB26 is not in America usually, so I had to just, you know, do a lot of reading on like specific things on, you know, whatever problems they might have. I mean, it's a good thing that it is, you know, 28 years old or whatever, you know, because there's a lot of information out there on the internet. If you've had a problem, someone else has probably had that problem too, and they might have put it on a forum or something like that. Skyline Andy. Hey, dude. Man, this video on my laptop is like, I don't know, a good 20, 30 seconds behind. Well, let me pick this up. So let me see if I can switch this camera around. Yes. It's pretty dark over here. Yeah, the head is in this current state here. So let me see if this flashlight works. Yeah, sort of. So yeah, this cap right here, if I slide my fingernail across, it catches, but if I, whoops, oh, that died. But if I slide it across this way, it's actually above this little hump in the head, but over here it's below the hump. So yeah, it's definitely lower. But yeah, to get the head off, you know, obviously there's the regular head studs, nuts, and there's like a little bolt on this side and a little bolt on that side, and then one up front here that are like little 10mm bolts that you have to take out before the head will come off. And I'm not sure if I need to take this whole thing off and this whole thing off to get to it or not. So yeah. Ooh. Alright guys, well, there's like 14 of you in here, so thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna probably end it now and go get some dinner and then try to get some good sleep and crank on this thing tomorrow. So I guess have a good Labor Day weekend, everyone who's in the States, and everyone have a good weekend who's not, and all that. So until next time, catch you later. See ya.